Yeah. Okay.
Put me to
Um.
remember my birthday, bro.
Welcome back to another episode of the Captain 501 broadcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. Today is another guest episode, so of course we have another Belizean guest on. This Belizean singer, songwriter, performer, and entertainer started his singing career over 15 years ago and has amassed over 75,000 views across his music videos. He's known for his songs like Real Belizean, Belize Wonders Unknown, and his debut single, Lately. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on to the Captain 501 broadcast none other than Nello Player. Woo!
Yes, man. What's up? What's going on, Captain?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good too, man. Thanks for having me. My pleasure.
Thank you, thank you. I
Yes,
appreciate
man.
you being here. I appreciate you
Always,
taking out the
always.
time, you know?
No
Yeah.
problem.
So, Nella, let's take it back to the beginning. So I want to ask you, when and how did you make your start in music?
Well, I guess I need to update because a little over 2 decades now.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I started very late, actually. I consider it a late start. I started music like in officially recording music in '03. Um, I started at Heights of Vibes, or we used to call HQ, headquarters for most of the Belizean artists who started at the same time myself as TR, Young C, Dan Marcos, Positive Vibes, Continental Cat, um, rest in peace Consigo. Consigo got his start, well, official start there because he was doing music much earlier too. But all of us, it was like one nucleus right there. Started music right the Heights of Vibe, studio in Fabers Road area. So we had the product of Heights of Vibe music.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I bring up 15 years ago because when you look at your YouTube channel, your first music video release
Yes,
was 15
yes,
years
yes,
ago.
yes.
But you said you've been making music
Yeah, yeah,
before that.
yeah. Yeah, we had some, this I mean the heyday of Creme Radio when Urson Picard was on air and he was a big thing then, so we used to always like they used to call we Cremites because we used to live the Creme, they promote our music, they on the radio, any shows Creme have we the right to the flock. They follow, they try get seen and heard, no?
Yeah.
So it was, I guess social media wasn't a grand thing then, so it wasn't a big fuss about social media. And I guess I got exposed when I left Belize for the first time for music and to do music, no? And Belizean again, an ex-Belizean who lives in the States, who still lives in the States, my friend Jason Bevans. He took me out there to record lately the song and the music video. And so that was the inception of our first online release. So you were right.
Nice. Yeah. So it's funny that you bring up Creme because I mentioned that you're known for your songs like Real Belizean lately and Belize Wonders Unknown. But to anybody who listens to the radio, you would know this voice from the Outer Outer International,
Yeah,
that tagline.
sometimes it gets you, because like you never get used to hearing yourself on radio. It's like, oh, sometimes I'm like, oh, type of moment. I believe it or not, right?
No,
Um, l-
I believe
last
it.
week, well, you could attest to
Exactly,
this, right?
exactly.
Last week I was going somewhere, or I was going to a graduation, and I was listening to More FM, and I really listened to More FM that much, but I had it on, and I just knew the direction of where the DJM and going, right? And
Uh-huh.
I kind of heard my song being shifted in slowly,
Hmm.
and I quickly changed the station, right? Because it was me inside the vehicle with
Hmm.
a lot of people,
Hmm.
right? So that kind of like blew up my spot, and I'm like, bye, bye, I never want none of that, right?
Yeah.
And guess what? I changed the station to Wave, and as I changed it to Wave, some will play a Nello Player. He
Well,
play
yeah,
a Nello Player song, and I like, and nobody knew what I was doing then.
Mhm.
Like,
But you know.
Afterwards, I told someone that I was changing the station for not hear my song, and then as I turn it to the next station, there goes one of my song coming on.
Yeah, I mean, I totally get it. Sometimes like you would have dealt and somebody would have they watch one of my videos and I have to walk away. Like I can't, I can't. I mean, it's not that you're not proud of it or you're not
You
happy
are
of your
right,
content. You are exactly,
but I
but
guess it speaks to the humility too. I guess
I
maybe,
guess yeah.
but I
Mhm.
don't know. You never get
Never
used to it, as
truly
a regular person. Then
exactly, yeah. So so I want to ask you, what does the name Nello Player mean?
Nello Player,
Hmm.
Nello, that childhood name. I named Colonel, right?
Okay.
So I understood there that I got my nickname from a cousin. My mom said one of her cousins, Vince, used to call me Nello, like Lee Nello, right? And in high school, then guys throw the play up on it. They say I'm do too much. I'm to do art. I'm busy with art. Guys draw and paint and they on the basketball team and popular around school. And so they used to call me player, Nello player. So they got wind to the Nello
Mhm.
that okay, family call me Nello and made fun of that and then throw the player behind it. So it wasn't given to me. I didn't choose the name then.
Okay, so the player is more of a testament to your creativity.
Yeah, yeah, like just doing a lot. Like still today.
Yeah. So you as an artist, you generally work around genres like reggae, dancehall, but your lyrics, I think that's where the attention diverts to,
Yeah,
because you speak about some real world problems, like
yeah, yeah.
gang violence,
Mm-hmm.
political corruption,
Yeah.
in a field where you have the freedom to sing about anything that you want to. What draws you to highlight those specific topics?
Perfectly said. And
Mhm.
also, I would also consider myself to anything in the range of like popular music as well too. It's not restricted to reggae dancehall because we dabble in a lot of other things, but primarily that's the basis. Um, I believe that I'm a true Rasta man at heart, and that philosophy and following was founded on rebellion and teachings and edifying culture and you know bringing light to people. So I believed on duty to actually speak truth in the music or encouragement to people. You know, speak of and this changed over time because when I was younger, I would always want to highlight like what the system they do wrong or what the government they do wrong and I say, man, this are like doom and gloom. I mean, these things exist, but that no mean I have to bring it from that angle. I could speak of it in a positive way and bring more positivity to the music and to what I bring to the table. So I felt it as a duty to sing positivity in the music or to preach some truths or speak my truths in a way that's catchy to others. I always tell people, I always remember mom usually say, if you're not come on public history saying, if you're not got nothing good to say, no say nothing. you
Exactly.
know, it's simple as that. You know, have anything good to say, just zip it. So that one of the beliefs now I take with me up to today.
And I think it's refreshing from a consumer's point of view to you have that balance where you do have the artists who sing about
And
other
it's so
things.
funny. Captain, it's so funny
Uh-huh.
because I like the aggressive stuff, like I know make, right? The stuff I know make. Like if you listen to the music what I listen to one side, because I dabble in a bit of DJing to that's how it all started, right? DJing first. So if I know to make music, I did juggle music, horn, whatnot. But the stuff that will really get me going, I like the hardcore stuff now. The real some of the explicit stuff. But I do cringe when I hear the stuff there in public around others,
Okay, yeah.
like on the bus, for instance, you jump on public transportation 8 o'clock in the morning and you hear a man they play for him Bluetooth speaker with effing this and Anna this and
Hmm.
Ina this and like boy, come on, brother, you need
Mhm.
a headphone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Well,
cringe.
I'm glad that you brought up the aggressiveness because I had a song that I want to talk to you about. One of my favorite song of yours called Aggravated Demeanor.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And specifically, there's a line in it that said, speculations from the media says that your career looks grim. Now, I want maybe my interpretation of it was different from what you actually meant, right? But
Hmm.
I to me, I interpret it as, people may have this perception of you of what they believe you to
Okay.
be, but you stick true to who you are.
I was speaking about the opposition.
Mm.
Like
Okay.
speculations from the media say your career look grim and not me.
Oh, okay.
Not me. And I think
Hmm.
why you're drawn to that song is a lot has to do with the visual, right? Being the
That
creative
too.
you
Yeah, I
are.
was gonna bring that up too. Exactly. Yeah.
I figure, I mean, that's one of, I mean, I like to think that a lot of the stuff that I release, it's intentional, like it's purposeful, like, so that song for everybody. Meaning I could see that going over a lot of heads.
Exactly.
Just the name
Hmm.
alone,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do that sometime. I call in that like nerding out a bit. So that like for a special group of people who could understand or could relate on that level. And I think as artists we are allowed to do that because a lot of
Right.
people say,
Exactly.
oh, they hit the masses then because who uh, who know the word this or who knows this type of vocabulary or whatnot. But so what sometimes. And so that now one of the songs that I think that just I did for me. And that song, if you notice, that no have no chorus. It was a
Hmm.
display of
Just straight
lyrical
through.
ability,
Hmm.
like just going,
Yeah.
going, going,
Hmm.
going. You
Yeah.
know.
So yeah, I had it as one of my notes here about the song that it's one
Hmm.
of those where you don't get it on the first listen. That you have to listen to it over again and see. Even me will listen to it over. I still
Yeah, that's the thing,
interpret
like
things
I listen to my
differently.
inner voice and I get the sense that this session I know a nice no longer I hear that song. The thoughts it just and our hard fight and yeah, that just a whole lot.
Hmm. So yeah. So what do you say about when it comes to breaking away from defining yourself to a specific genre as a musician?
Oh, it's hard, right? Because if you notice that, perfect again in question, because we started off saying that, okay, it's primarily reggae and dancehall. But if you listen to Aggravated Demeanor right there, that has a heavy hip hop influence.
I have that as a note. It says lyrics laced on an aggressive hip hop slash dancehall beat.
Exactly,
So yeah.
exactly, exactly. I think that was a Young C beat or one of them guys beat. Yeah, but again, it's what I hear, it's what fuels me. At present, working with Stone Tree, doing some writing for a project that Ivan has going on. Big up to Ivan. He always believes in me and pulls me into these projects. And again, that this is like a totally different, wouldn't say a different era for me because doing music for over 20 years, you encounter so many aspects of the field or of the industry. So again, we're working on finding a new song for Belize, so you can imagine the different genres you're playing with. You're sampling some old Radio Belize stuff and lacing those over some hip hop, some slow, chill hip hop, some aggressive sounding dancehall slash hip hop trap songs, over some how you call it, some running hi hats and snares, and so it's really different. Sticking to a genre, it's kind of hard because I primarily do reggae music. I have a whole album that's reggae trap when I thought this was new and it hasn't been released. It hasn't been released for some different reasons when I thought this was new. Um, but I can't stick to a genre. I can't stick to a genre. The music that I listen to some days, it goes more than some days. Like a very good bit of the time, I don't want to hear any reggae music. I listen to a lot of rock stuff, a lot of alternative, for sure. A lot of old music before I even my band. You understand? Um, and these stuff are on my phone. It's not like YouTube or whatnot. I have to have it near to me on my phone. Like I always tell people. So I can't say that I stick to a genre when something comes out new. Like I found this new song from Protege, Jamaican reggae artist who I like. They say that he and I have similar cadence and tone. So people always think that me that or that he. And this new song from him, like I would listen to something like that, you know. But apart from that, I know I really don't like the new school reggae, like earlier, the kind of cliche, lovey reggae
Okay, yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Not to take away anything from those artists, but
hmm
not my cup of tea, you know?
Right, right. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty well said. To me, I think that your music is different because in a way it kind of reminds me of like what spoken poetry is almost like, as if you're literally setting poetry to music, which is what music
Music is,
is. So
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
And I have good inspiration from people I admire, such as my friend who passed and gone again, Mr. Mobile Malachi, was one of the first Belizeans to be recognized abroad for his reggae music. He have a song when he Belize Me Ban and one next one named God Alone. Presently, I'm working with Kenny Morgan a lot through the same project with Stone Tree. And before working with Kenny, I always tell him I need to work with you, you know. I need to work with you, no want to. Like I look up to the stuff these guys been doing over the years and you know, it's a blessing now. Kenny's at my space every so often recording music. I get to record him and you know, so inspiration that the stuff I get from people like them, no?
So you have your own space?
Yeah, I have a space, not elaborate like
No.
this, but but
But it
I've been
works.
having a space,
hmm
guys, that it's hard. Like, um, I mean, this is probably why you're doing this. You guys are doing this because it's almost impossible to be on someone else's time. Like I've always had my own space to record myself. Like I don't like wait upon people, you know. When I he smiled because he understand.
Yeah, we get it. We get
When I
it.
started out, I had a moment of thought whereby you want to be a part of a group, Nello, or you want to be do this by yourself, or what are you gonna do, and what genre are you gonna do? 'Cause you're first enough for the English language for do like hip hop music, like rap. But is that speaking truly to my roots, like where I'm from? And like I don't know from America, you know, I don't from the Caribbean. We speak Creole and broken English and English, so closest to me to that the like reggae music or dancehall music. I could just put it in a way different and relate to Belize, throw some Creole in there, and just not moving far from me, you know, where I wouldn't be comfortable with, you know. So I did that home, like I wanted to do that at home, and a lot of people wouldn't understand that being recording out there, recording there and there. So I hone that at home, you
Yeah.
know.
And I think it's a good thing that you mentioned that too, because to me, and you might relate to this, I think when you have your own space, it allows you the freedom to create.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to necessarily get it the first time, as
Yeah,
opposed to
yeah.
when you have other people with you, you have to like nail it, or else
Oh
it's
yeah,
considered a
yeah.
waste of time.
And I mean, also it was a drawback too because I got, you know, a little jumpy recording around people because of being
hmm
so used to recording home in front of
Yeah.
myself, like just me alone. But I mean, I come up around a bunch of artists that became brothers, you know, like Positive Vibe, 357, Young C, Consigo, Continental Cat, and King. And a lot of these guys, we under one roof most of the time, younger while coming up, no? So I would everybody would leave the studio and I would be there till 4 a.m., you know, and then just go home, go get ready for go to work or school or whatever the case may be. And that used to happen quite often. I'm not saying that I never have my computer home, my mic set up, my Lee room padded and but you know, just get the vibe from the group,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we really have a lot in common because I had the same way. Like I will go till 3, 4 o'clock, and sometimes forget that I need for sleep. Like,
Exactly, exactly.
but that speaks to the love that you have
Yeah.
for the craft.
Yeah, and I would still do that. The only thing that would stop me would be consideration for the neighbors, you know, because the neighborhood quiet and I had the belt out behind my microphone and I try as much to just have on my headphone for not listen to anything out. But when I need to record, with the Belize houses, they're close to each other, right? So I would like, I'll shut down now.
Yeah, yeah. So take us through your creative process from the moment that you like have an idea for a song to the moment that you put it out. What
Okay.
does that look like?
And it varies, Captain. It totally varies. But what I've been noticing for some years now that, and I don't think this is necessarily a good thing, but I guess the need to create like on spot triggered this movement here. I totally ditched my book. And I like that aspect of my career. Like I've totally done away with my book. I had a lot of those scribe black and white books like stacked up. I don't even know where all of them are right now. I could find a couple, and then I like gems to me. Like I get like a kid when I come across one of my books and look at this the writing and whatnot. And I'm like, what, you know? Because within our age, everything is on the phone, right? So everything is in my voice recorder. Like everything. If I have an idea for a beat, I'm humming it out. I'm recording it. I the wrong people and they laugh at me, when I because sometimes I don't have words, I just the melody, and that's fine. Like a month ago, I was watching something on social media, and this was Tory Lanez going through the same process. Um, he said before any words or anything, he can go in at the studio behind the microphone, and he sing out some melodies, just melodies, and he kept the strong one, and that not the one he used for this song. Like so, sometimes um the beat that like a chicken and an egg, which one came first, right? Sometimes I do it with the beat first, like maybe I have a nice beat from a producer that I really like and I want something special on this song. Again, same process. I would listen to the beat, hum out some melodies, a nice melody for the chorus, and a nice melody again, how I want the verse to sound like without having words. And sometimes it's without even having an idea or topic for what I'm going to sing about. But the part about having a starting with an instrumental, that half of the time that dictates what you're gonna sing about. Because you can have something very soulful and then you're the call like
Right.
right? It's just totally contradicting. So that's when you start from having an instrumental. Sometimes I just have an idea like I wanna sing about this, I wanna write about peace, or I wanna write about I just started writing a song when you knockhead. Nobody get no ideas. Right? So you can imagine where that going, right? Knockhead. Like, I dip on the street 10 toes down and I don't know, you could find me at the bottom of the street and the song named Knockhead, I just to think about all kind of brainstorm, just write words before even coming up with a melody. So it starts with when you don't have a beat, sometimes I think about what I sing about, then just write random words, one words. And then when I think I have enough, start to formulate thoughts, a whole thought around a word, and then come up with a melody. And some songs like this one, I don't think will have a melody, it's just will have like some chanting, like, and they are in my phone already. Like, I'm just going because of this writing project with Stone Tree. Um, they have like 3 folders with so many beats, and we're tasked to come up with ideas for these beats. So it's like listen to one beat, write down something, sing something in the phone, move on. So no formulated thoughts or anything, just brainstorming. So that's my process right there. I brainstorm, write down words, come up with melodies, then formulate a thought, then complete sentences. Like one of my secrets is saying in a bar, like say a complete sentence, like you're the top to you right here. So like I want that fit perfectly in a bar.
So, what would you say is like the longest time that you've ever taken to write a song?
Oh, good question. Because I'm a procrastinator and I hate to admit this, but I have to be real to myself. Certain songs get started and get shelved because a writer's block or some other it completely different thought for something else and we jump on that one. So I don't think it would be fair for say take me a whole year for write a song. It's intentionally putting that aside, but um it just could really upset you like when I can't finish a song, and especially if I want to finish that like within a couple hours, like challenge myself. Like, yeah, I mean, a part of doing this, like you really try to find all aspects of it to keep going. Cause I mean, it's no hard thing, cause we do it because we love it. Like I love what I do. I love doing this. I love being able to do this. Before coming over here, I think that okay, I like this. I like perform music. I like write my music. I like recording my songs. And early on, I never like perform because we're new to it and we don't know how to do it. But the length of time to write a song generally, I'd say about a few hours. Like if I really sit there and not get distracted by my phone, social media, messaging, doing other things, multitasking, a couple hours and it could go to a few days, like a couple days, like finding. I can remember the song, um, Selassie praises. Bless my soul, keep watching my movements, guide me every day. The third verse for that song have a whole bit in there about great expectations. I said, who will listen to this? Talks about Pip and Dickens and whatnot in this third verse. So like, who will listen to a song or reggae or a dancehall song, kind of aggressive, about great expectations? The book. So, but that took a while to come up with the third verse. And like, I'd have a complete song, like a complete song totally, and four lines that are missing from one verse before I could say the song finish. Meaning, like, it's hard to come up with those four lines. So, I go finish the introduction, I go edit everything else, and I just for plug in those four lines and say the song done.
So then, would you call it procrastination, or is it more of like you just want it to be, you want it to be perfect before you actually put it out for the world to consume it?
I sometimes I don't even think it's wanting it to be perfect. Like it's just
Perfect
it,
to your
yeah, like
standards.
it's just fleeting. Like the thought or the words are just not there to finish this song. And like when it hit me, like finally, like why you couldn't think of that long time? Like my brother, come on, this song just perfect for right here, but how that never been in your head long time? Like.
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's other artists who could definitely relate to that too. That you know sometimes it's just not there, but when it's there, it just it's that final piece that makes the project whole complete.
Music that love and hate. I guess when any passion is love and hate. I used to try to release a song every birthday. Like so, if that means I'm working on it all day today, on the day of the birthday, meaning starting from beat up, like making the beat and finishing the song, and then before 12 the next morning, or that the way I do. Or could start off by having a beat from a producer, another producer, and it's just me writing and recording, but this is the birthday song and I want to finish it on my day, and probably just release it for the listeners, supporters, fans. I had a birthday song that I was working on called Good Day. Good Day didn't come out like till 2 years after the birthday. Meaning the song was very nice. It has had a nice chorus, had two verses, and couldn't come up with a last verse to finish the song. And then one day it just came to me and everything just flowed.
So what you're saying is that we could expect a song for your next birthday?
Yeah.
All
Hold me to that.
right.
Hold me to it.
Yeah. Okay, so Nello, I've known about you for years through your music, but the first time we got to actually meet each other was at the Miss Y
Yeah, yeah,
2023.
yeah.
Yeah, because then that's when you serenaded the ladies. And for those who may not know, my mom is the one who coordinates the Miss Y pageant. But the first time that we got to work together was for my film, which the poster is right there behind you for
Yeah.
Destination 501.
Bad film.
Yeah, where two of your songs actually, Belize, Wonders
Wonders
Unknown,
Unknown
and
and
Real
Real
Belizean are
Belizean. Correct.
featured.
Correct.
Yeah, and we got to film the introduction portion, which was to Belize Wonders Unknown at Old Belize, and it was the first time that I had ever worked with you, like I said, but I have to give you the thank you here live in front of everybody because I say this a lot, but I don't expect when I reach out to people that they're going to say yes.
You
I
should,
mean,
bro.
I know people always say that, but but when you're an artist that I really wanted to work with, and that song was one of my favorite songs, it's still to this day one of my favorite songs, and I knew for a fact that I wanted to showcase that song, to highlight that song, and when you agree to it, it was, I think it's one of the perfect additions to completing to making that film whole.
Yeah. And I know I was totally blown when I saw that project because you could only say so much, right?
Right.
Until I see the final product, I was like, wow, this ballet up on level. Like, you know exactly what you want with this and the direction I'm going with this project. And in the comments of that project, of this project, somebody said, best 30 minutes of my life, or, right? Or somebody say, I never waste 30 minutes, sir. And I like, yeah, exactly. This was really good. It was really good,
Thank you, thank you. You know, I mean, it's always been a thing of mine that aside from highlighting Belize, I also want to highlight our Belizean talent. This episode of the Captain 501 broadcast is brought to you by Bakery. Hey Belize, got a sweet tooth or a craving for something fresh from the oven? Let me introduce you to your new favorite indulgence, Bakery. Bakery is Belize's new small baking business, serving up handcrafted treats that taste like home, only better. From gooey brownies and rum-infused cakes to tropical-inspired cookies, every bite is made with love, local ingredients, and a sprinkle of magic. Whether you're planning a birthday bash, need a pick-me-up for your office crew, or just want to treat yourself because you deserve it, Bakery's got you covered. And guess what? They work with your favorite runman to ensure your desired goods are delivered right to your door in Belize City. So skip the supermarket sweets and go for something truly special. Add them on WhatsApp to see what's fresh out of the oven today. You can contact them at 501-621-6071 or you can find them on social media at Bakery. That's 501-621-6071. Bakery. Whisk with love, served with joy. I discovered the song Belize Wonders Unknown when you performed it for the
Song competition.
exactly the National Song Competition, and that was in 2022. Oh, okay, so that was for a while now.
Was
So
it? Was it? Was it? Was it? Let me see. Let me see. It wasn't this year. I think 2023. I think it was.
2023.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, and then aside from writing and singing about real life topics, you also sing about Belize, so you're also
Yeah.
patriotic, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's a segue into a new segment, a game that I have for us to play. All right, so the game is called Belizean True or False, right? It's you only have two options, so you have a 50% chance
Sound
of
like you
getting it
can't
right.
fail. Sound like I can't lose.
All right, I try not to go too hard, right? But the goal is passing. We're not
Very good. Very good.
yeah, we're not set you up like that. So yeah. All right, so you ready?
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
see.
All right. The first one. Belize was known as British Honduras up until 1973.
Um, I'd say false.
It's true.
Oh, it's true?
True.
I
All
would
right.
think that earlier.
All right. That's the first one. That's the first one. It's a warm up. It's a warm up. Okay, second one. Belize is still a member of the Commonwealth.
Um, no.
They are.
Really?
Yep. Still.
You gotta edit this.
All right. Belize is home to the only jaguar reserve in the world.
No, I can't know that.
You should because you're watching a film.
Yes, I know. I did watch the film, but true.
All right. Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. It is home to the only jaguar reserve in the world. Okay. The Belizean barrier reef is the second largest barrier reef in the world.
Yeah, it is.
That's correct. About 3/5 of Belize is still covered in rainforests.
Yeah, it is.
The Maya are the biggest ethnic group in Belize.
Nah, the mestizo.
That's right. Okay, the hottest day ever recorded in Belizean history happened in May of 2024.
Cap, how would I know that? True.
It was the second.
It was the second.
The second hottest day was in 2024. The first, which I think this is a good information for people know, the first was actually in May of 1976, where Belize got up to 110 degrees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that happened in May was 109.
Oh, that's the second hottest day.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember my birthday, bro.
The biggest land animal in Belize is the jaguar.
Nah, it's a manatee. I mean, the tapir.
Correct. The Battle of St. George's Key actually lasted about a week long.
Um, no.
That's that. It was 6 days. So yeah, I will give you that because technically it wasn't a week. So I will give you that one.
Because I think I heard it was
Mm.
like a short battle. It was like
Mm-hmm.
I think like 3 days, something like that. And I
Yeah,
used to work at a museum for some years,
for
you
real.
know. Yes.
All right, and your final question: Belize gained its independence on September 21st, 1981.
Yes.
All right.
And the man they test my patriotism.
Okay, so moving on. Aside from singing locally, you've also sung on some pretty big international stages.
Yeah.
One of the most recent ones being the BTB, the International Music and Food Fest last year. That's where you were a part of the Creole combo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was big fun, yeah.
Yeah, and you got the chance to share the stage with Kenny Morgan,
Yes, yes.
Chriselle Gabriel, if
Yeah.
I'm not mistaken.
Lucio Enriquez and a few other greats. I can't remember this man name that plays the jawbone, but these people have been around like way before me doing music. But so it's always humbling to share the same stage with the likes of them. You had Mr. Bennett also playing the banjo, and yeah.
Yeah, and I think this was the first time that they introduced that
Uh-huh.
segment
Yeah,
today.
yeah. They had the Creole combo, they had the legends, the Garifuna legends, who was like Pen Caetano, Miami, and a couple
Mm-hmm.
others, you know.
Yeah.
And Latin combo. Again, this was an idea brought to them by Ivan Duran. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that your first time at the BTB
Yes, it
Food
was my
Festival?
first time at the festival. It was definitely my first time, and yeah, but it was a great experience. It was fun the whole time, like practicing and the actual performance night, no?
So what is it like from your perspective to have your name listed amongst other widely internationally known artists like Prince Royce, Shensia?
Oh, that very good feeling. Again, sometimes you don't even think about it. I think the more you think about it, the I don't want to say the more you get into yourself, right? But I don't really think about it much, you know. I'm very much aware. Like the first time it happened, it was one Caribbean music festival in Florida. Um, we share the same hotel with Sean Paul, Maxi Priest, Cat De Luna. Like all of us are staying at the same hotel. All of us are being picked up by the same um people to take us to rehearsals and to song check and whatnot, you know. So, I've been on some stages with these people, and it's just humbling, meeting them backstage and telling them you're from Belize, and so it's a good feeling, and you mark it as one for the books, and
Right,
if
right,
there's any print of anything there, we hold on to it, save as keepsake.
right. Yeah. And then that performance with the Creole combo, that was also a part of the, if I'm not mistaken, the Belize Music Project, right? With
Yes,
Niche.
correct, correct, correct. That's a big part of the Belize Music Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have some of your songs that because from what I understand is that they're introducing a whole new museum.
Yeah, definitely. Music museum is on their way, and a part of that is from memory. It's a 100 track box set of Belizean music from 100 years of Belize music. So there are gonna be some vinyls. There's gonna be a whole lot, to commemorate the whole project, or to for its launch and so forth. So the performance part of it was a big part of it. As you notice, they took real Belize and they twisted it, and they did that with a few other songs too, not only my songs, right? So it's showing that what is being done. Like they're taking the boom drum and the jawbone and the ding-a-ling, which is the metal boom and chime use, and they're making that like the core instruments of this new song that they're discovering for Belize, and adding new and old together. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I look forward to it. Yeah.
it's going well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, your I think you've earned the status of being a music veteran in this industry, in the Belizean industry. How for you, how has this industry progressed, or has it, in your opinion, remained stagnant?
Um, I don't think it has remained stagnant. If you listen to some Belizeans, they would know, but I don't think so. And for a good while, I had to understand and really step back and understand what's happening, right? It's like the shift, if like for the genre that I represent, let's take dancehall for instance. Um, dancehall gone from um, just give me the light, like dancehall drum pattern, like Pokemon Jam that to like a fusion of trap and soul, give it like a more soulful, like there's no gyrating song or no aggressive song anymore to me. Like it's like a bunch of like soulful sounding hip hop, slightly aggressive, to keep that aggressiveness in there somewhat. But I've had to gone to acceptance and say that still that's still a part of the genre, elevating and progressing and moving in that direction. So much so that they call the older song in dancehall 90s dancehall. Like even if it's not 90s, they call it 90s dancehall. Like, and I could think of a lot of older. I know rhythms, as I say. I juggle music like X5 rhythm and Buzz rhythm and some of the older stuff, that the Wally rhythm, and then they still have that old dancehall punchy song like drum and bass type song, as opposed to I don't know, like one new song then like says something like when Massacre would sing on right now, or with a totally like one new song for dancehall. They call that trap dancehall, you know. So I think it has grown into what it is in Belize, and birth new listeners, because people who know, believe it or not, you have a lot of young listeners who don't know my music, and I find that very normal. I don't find it strange or anything, because this is a podcast I was listening to yesterday. I can't remember that which podcast, an American podcast, but they're like, young boy is like 10 times better than J. Cole, right?
Hmm.
Right? But that the type of
Mhm.
listeners we have now.
Yeah.
Like we think stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't say that near true in any way. Or like I still prefer like a Jada Kiss over um some of these young Plump, or what name? What are the hip hop artists their name?
Or like I know, like little
Lil Pump.
the little people.
Yeah, the little people, right? Right? So I still like wordsmiths, like people would do it for me, like where I could just to put words together in the most crafty type of way, over some of these young artists. Like, but that doesn't mean that I don't give them any respect for what they do, right? So that's the same way for our local Belizean music. We have a lot of emerging artists doing their thing too, and I think a lot of our artists are still stuck in the imitation phase, because imitation births creativity and births originality. At some point, you have to
Right.
stop imitate and
Mhm.
jump into
Make it
the
your own.
uniqueness of your own craft. But some of our artists like stay there, like they just sing the same topics like with the Jamaican, and they sing and like six, and they using the
Mhm.
same language,
Right, right.
like
Mhm.
bro God and a whole like totally we're not us, but I just had to accept and say this is the way the music they grow into, it's still growing, and it's going, and again birthing new listeners and a whole. You got at any event right now, you have to what to talk about. Everybody sing like a choir in chorus to everything that's
Mhm.
being played new, and you can't help but know them too, because it's what's flooding our airwaves too.
Yeah.
You know.
So in your opinion, how do you see the Belizean music industry moving forward?
Um, I think artists still have a responsibility, as Belizean artists, not only as artists, as Belizean artists, we still have a responsibility to, um, like a better term, like not make it get way far away. Meaning, yes, we don't have the stage, we don't have the voice right now, and the ear of the people. So still try to put something that makes it uniquely Belizean. Not only the fact that you're a Belizean doing music makes it Belizean, and not just be satisfied with that, you know? Do something unique will make it stand out and make it, uniquely ours. I still think we have a responsibility to cater to that aspect of our music. Whatever genre you choose to do, still try make it uniquely Belizean.
Yeah. And then also too, I think another thing is too, the reality of the industry is that you have to put in the work.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Again, Cap, I think I don't know why I've never given it much thought as to why I stood out, why I considered was considered successful in Belizean music in gaining the attention of many here at home. Um, Maybe work ethic that led me to the ears of the Belizean public, like to know who I am or to see me regularly on TV or on in music videos or in songs or on radio. Maybe work ethic as I didn't really give it, I've never given it much thought. But again, I have a lot of people who contact me all the time, like we want the music. Like I have songs, I have nice songs and whatnot. And I not try to discourage anybody in doing music, but I know what it takes. Like it takes a lot. It takes you putting a lot into your music, like proper writing, proper recording, um, proper promotion, like they're behind people that ask them to play your music, go to radio stations, going to events, trying to get on shows to, you know, gain the attention of people where and then a shows like they're not every show like peak promoters want to hire you, but because they're behind and they're behind it, yeah, they can't say no. Like they find it hard to say no, and they end up putting you on shows, and you start to develop a little bit of traction, being on this show, being on the other show, being on this TV show, being on the radio, being on music videos, so forth. So it takes a lot, without even thinking about it. I'm guessing that's what it takes, to get known here in Belize. Consistency, how you think Belizeans know you? Putting out work, being
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah. And then another reality of it too is that a good point you mentioned, you practically do it yourself.
Oh yeah,
You're putting
yeah, yeah,
yourself
yeah,
out there,
yeah.
and I know different artists who, well, you mentioned it too, that aside from being an artist, you also have your day job. You have to find the means of making it work, of because at the end of the day, you're funding your music, you're funding your videos, whatever it is.
Yeah, early on in my career, I used to spend a lot of money recording. Big up Ken Doyle. Ken Doyle used to record a lot of my music, Ken Doyle Simpson. And I just kind of learned a good bit just by listening to his final work. Like maybe a final song from Ken Doyle, I would drag into my audio program and try to get my song sounding just like that.
This episode of the Captain 501 broadcast is brought to you by the National Institute of Culture and History, NICH. NICH has been serving Belize for over 20 years as Belize's premier cultural institution dedicated to safeguarding and preserving culture and history. Whether it's divisions like the Institute of Archaeology or the Institute of Social and Cultural Research, NICH has created various outlets to maintain an open and collaborative approach to cultural heritage and arts promotion, management, and cultural safeguarding with its various stakeholders. You can learn more about the resources provided by NICH by visiting the Museum of Belize or the Museum of Belizean Art located in Belize City, the various houses of culture located countrywide, as well as visiting nichbelize.org or other websites such as the 501 Academy and Access 501. Let me ask you, who are some of your inspirations in the industry?
My inspirations, um, a lot of it, like a lot of who I am comes from music. Like my journey into the Rastafarian belief and whatnot comes greatly from music. It started off with music, then into like a lot of reading. But the music, Steel Pulse, are a group that I used to listen to a lot in my transition into like physical Rastafarian beliefs and thoughts and Black Uhuru. These are like known older reggae groups. Black Uhuru, Steel Pulse, Israel Vibration, Aswad, and Nasir Fountain, Bob Marley, of course. And a lot of these things I didn't have to go and look for, you know, these were right in my household. My dad used to listen heavy. I always say it in my bio and past interviews that my parents were avid music listeners. You know, my mom sang in a choir for many years, Choral Society, St. Martin's Choir. Um, so I've always been around music. You know, my dad have like tons of records, record players, cassettes, equipment. Like he doesn't sing and whatnot, but they have like mountains of speakers. And I used to get in trouble all the time for like they play the dancehall records there, and the one or two dancehall records he had among all sorts of like funk and soul and some reggae records and whatnot. So um I'd say my and getting a little older into it, I used to like listen to Bounty Killer and like the aggressive side of music, like Super Cat, and then guys when we do like Buja Banton back in the day, young Buja Banton, and just the aggressive side of the genre dancehall music. I like to say that um dancehall or reggae music's bastard child because it more rebellious and more aggressive. Right? So like I like almost one and the same, just one more a little bit more brush. Yeah.
Yeah. So, to me, I see musicians as like vessels. So how do you, or let me ask, what do you hope to accomplish through your music?
Um, that I could reach someone, or I shouldn't even say someone, that listeners who gravitate to my music could leave from listening to my music feeling upful, feeling positive, feeling like I needed that. Like that definitely did something for me, or I want to put this on in a time of um sadness or in a time of a down time. Like I could be uplifted by listening to a Nello Player song, whichever one you choose to listen to. If it's one that's hardcore and speaking very ill of something, or if it's one that's soothing, like soulful and melodic, or if it's a song that is totally just off the wall, like just word after word after word after word, like whatever one they choose to listen to, like they feel that it's satisfied, they feel satisfied listening to one of my songs.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, so you have any upcoming projects that we can look out for?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I have a people always I get accused of not releasing music so much so that I had a thing happened recently, like last month. Was it a month ago, probably? I tried to release an album. I have like a few albums on deck, like just stuff like has that have been accumulating, like ready to go, like ready to go. Like meaning I don't take this 15 years, so I don't mix and master them, everything sounding level. We don't have the album art. It's just to put on all platforms and you know, get their release, get the credit card going and release this project. So I decided to do that the other day. Something I have a song called, a project called Straightforward. That's a play like going straight forward and listen to their all of their song that are like straightforward, like boop, 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 every song that like, you know? So it was a play on words using the title for the project Straightforward and uploaded the project through my distributor and it came back to me say rejected. Right, so that was like a open your mouth type of moment, shocked. And they cited why it was rejected and I was like, you bonehead, like I have this song from 2012 recorded, like it wasn't recorded 2012. I had the beat from 2012. I got it from Della the Great.
Oh,
The yeah,
yeah,
and Della was more into music back then, not singing or anything, but very much close to it,
producing. Hmm.
producing and working with artists and having beats and so forth. And the reason why the album was rejected was one of the beats was already being used. And the artist who released the beat was this Mexican artist, this reggae artist, this Rasta Mexican dude. and he released the song 2023, and I have this beat from 2012, right? But it was just one of them sitting there. I had done a song on it maybe years after 2012, not wrong then, but one of my songs that I really like, a good song. Like I know I wanted more than just a YouTube release, you know. I wanted a good music video. I wanted it out properly on all platforms, lyric cited, you know, that sort of thing. So I just managed to put it on a compilation this year and release it, and now the album is held up because they know the third party licensing. I ended up reaching out to the dude, and he like, sure, whatever you need, man, you could use a beat, whatnot. I told him that I have it from 2012, and I showed him me receiving this email 2012 with this instrumentation, and he like, wow. So that like I missed it by so many years, and he just released his song 2023, right? So my band leader, I said, this is how you get for another release your music, and he always said, this one you release already, player. When you release this is a nice song. I don't know how to do it. Like I need this need for mix better, this need for master better, and yeah, maybe I just release it as a single and just release the thing, my boy. And so yeah, so I have projects waiting to be released. I have a reggae album. It's just strictly reggae music, reggae songs. Some of them out already, some of them never heard by anyone before. The album that I was trying to release, straightforward. A lot of the songs people know already. There's a song up there from me and Super G called Allergy. Styling is up there. There's a song from Blackberry up there called Press Gas, me and Blackberry. Um, they have a few songs up there that's been released before. Um, but a nice dancehall compilation, you know. So I'm gonna try again, but Spotify is telling me that they don't do third party licensing because it will mess up their algorithm when it comes to payment. Like they don't know who to pay.
Oh, well, maybe it's probably just not the right time, but the right time will come.
I'm gonna maybe try to make remake the beat similar and then see what gives. But I'm so attached to that song the way it is. It's
Right.
hard to like, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, but hopefully by the time that this comes out, we'll have an update for you with the from you with the
Yes, yes,
project.
yes, definitely, definitely. But we keep releasing singles. I'm just been featured on a international project called the Slash and Burn. Again, Belizeans working together. One of my friend Jason Bevans, who is a producer, Belizean producer living in the States. He and I started from the jump, and he was the one who got me lately. He flew me to the States to record lately, to do the music video for lately, and we've been working together ever since, you know, very close. Used to live in Belmopan while I was living there too, many years ago. But he's always releasing big projects with the likes of like Capleton and Turbulence, Fantan Moja, Chuck Finn, and these big artists, right? So he always makes sure he puts me on these projects as the Belizean holding it down, no? So they've just released a project called Slash and Burn. That's on all platforms. I've been doing the wrongs promoting this project, so it's funny that I didn't remember that just now. Um, the Slash and Burn project is out, guys. Go and look for it on all platforms and support the Belizean artists up there. Nello Player,
Of
my
course,
song.
of course, of course.
Yeah, definitely. My song called Big Flex. You can go and look on it, look for it on YouTube or wherever you choose to purchase the song, you know.
All right, so Nella, before we let you go, tell us where can the people find you?
Definitely on all platforms, Nello Player slash Facebook slash Nello Player, YouTube slash Nello Player, TikTok slash Nello Player, Instagram. I'm active on all of those platforms. I don't like to be, but I'm there. It's just too much, bro.
I get it, I get
I need
it.
help. I need help. I need hired help. So anybody looking to do that sort of stuff, hit me up. You know, I'm open. We can discuss some payment and figure out how to go, you know?
Well, there you go. There you go. Special thank you once again to Nello Player for making his appearance on the Captain 501 broadcast. And thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you want more Captain 501 broadcasts, definitely check us out on all streaming platforms, wherever you get your podcast from. For the video portions, go over to youtube.com/Captain Cadle. And we will see you guys back here again next week for another episode.